Hello, you're welcome to your advanced course titled Developing Your Strategy. Once again, my name is Jafet Oha. Now, this advanced course is where you learn the method for which I use to develop a fairly simple strategy that has been giving me results. You can get between, I believe you saw the sample of the account I traded from $100 in 1 month. I was able to raise it to $50. Yes, it is the method I use to develop that strategy, and I'm going to show you that method in this advanced class so you can also develop your own strategy. Is that not amazing? I believe it is. Alright, let's jump into it right away. So, developing your strategy. How do I go about developing my strategy? You'll be surprised. It's a bit quite easy. I was surprised when this idea came into my head, and this is it. Simple. Get a checklist. So what does that mean exactly? Most of you at one time or other would have gotten a task. Maybe you've got a task. To make it easy, a very big task, you can just divide it into bits and pieces, and have a checklist of things you do and start checking them one by one. Before you know, you're done with the task. The same concept we're going to apply here will help us develop our strategy. So what are the checklists we have to check in the strategy? Number one, talking about trend and direction. We have to develop a strategy where the first thing you can identify the trend or direction. It sounds so easy, but it is. Next is volatility. Next is entry, and finally, just 4 things on the checklist: exit. Your strategy must check these 4 items one by one. And this is how it works. When you identify a currency pair you want to trade, buy or sell, your goal, no matter how good it is, your goal is to try to use this checklist to disqualify that trade you want to take. Now, if that trade passes the examination of the checklist, go ahead and buy. It's as simple as that. I know sometimes when I say something is simple, people feel it is too good to be true, but yes, that is the concept. And here's the thing: if your trade that you want to sell or buy does not check these boxes, guess what? Do not enter. It's as simple as that. Now let's go back to our platform right now and practically show you how this works. Okay, now let's try this now. Let's test this out using our checklist, how we can develop our own strategy. Now, by now, you should have decided which time frame you want to be using to make your trades. Now, there's a school of thought out there that it is preferable to go on your higher time frame, and a lot of traders out there will say the high time frames are the right ones and the lower time frame is just noise. Well, I don't really conform to that school of thought, because the truth of the matter is I've had 2 mentors in Forex. The first one trades 1 hour and he's successful. The second one trades 4 hours and he's successful. And I've seen other successful traders who trade as little as 15 minutes, and I've seen position traders who trade as much as 1 week. They've all been successful. So at the end of the day, I believe it's a matter of your knowledge and understanding of the Forex market, and perhaps also of yourself, that should determine the time frame you usually choose. But this is what I tell people: if you're a very busy person and you have other engagements, just choose a higher time frame. That's when we want to talk about higher time frame. We talk about 4 hours upwards, 4 hours daily, weekly, monthly. And then if you don't mind sitting in front of your laptop for most of the day, you can choose a lower time frame from 1 hour down to 1 minute. Alright, just choose the one that suits yourself, suits your personality and what you want to achieve. I believe that is it. Alright, let's jump into this very quickly. Alright, another thing I want to say for you to, another thing I want to say, all these things I've been showing you so far, you don't need to know everything. But the fact is that because people are different, have different things, that's why I took out time to show you most of these things. So just choose For this purpose, choose like two indicators to help you around this. If you have studied price action, how the candlestick behave, that's good. And choose like two indicators, maximum three. Don't fill your screen with indicators, it doesn't help. When I started, that's how I used to fill indicators on my screen. I wasn't making money, but this is better now. All right, let us jump into it. So first on our okay, you need to get, and in selecting your indicators, you need to think about the checklist. The first on checklist is trend, then volatility, entry, exit. So you have to choose indicators that can show you, and maybe if you are choosing two indicators, one that can show you trend, one that can show you volatility. So let's start. Okay, let's just pick indicators. Let's say moving average. Now the moving average, like I said, don't use it alone, but we'll consider it as one. That's why we're using two moving averages. Okay, that first one was 5, this one will be 10. Let's change it to red. Alright, this is how it works. Now let's say your time frame you want to choose is 4 hours. Now let's look at this here. Okay, we have some nice crossovers. Now this is our first crossover. Let's mark it with our vertical line. Now I want you to imagine that from this line all this way here has not yet formed. So at this point here, when this crossover happens, you do not yet know. It looks like an upward trend, but you do not know how long it will last or when it will be over and all that. So for you to consider taking this trade, you have to identify the trend. Now if you want to take a trend, do not look at it from the time frame you are making your entry. Now this is an entry. Now we want to disqualify it or qualify it. So we'll go to the next higher time frame. In this time frame is the daily, and look at it. Yes, and now we look at it. This is the point that we marked. In the 4 hours, it was an upward trend, but right now the truth is it was still a downward trend. You do not know that this is gonna happen. So guess what? That trade has been disqualified. We are going to go back to 4 hours and look for another trading opportunity. And the market went up, but at this point you didn't know. So you go to the next one, which is this. So let's mark it again. Alright, let's go over our checklist. Number 1, trend. Go to the higher time frame, and guess what? It's a buy. It's showing an upward trend. So yes, we're happy now. The trend works. So we've done the checklist. We are buying. So the checklist have confirmed the trend is okay. So now let's talk about next on our checklist is volatility. So let's put another indicator that can help us get volatility. What do we choose? Okay, let's choose the NACD MACD. What is it telling us? As you can see, the volatility is kind of just there. It's not really low, it is just the same level. Let's look at the higher time frame and see if there's volatility there. Okay, as you can see, this as it's down here, it means it's a downward trend, and as it's losing steam, as the downward trend is losing steam, the upward trend is gaining strength. So you can see, yes, there is volatility here. That's what this histogram is showing you. So yes, this is another trade. That means we've gotten our checklist and it's good. We've marked the second thing on our checklist, and this already showed us a crossover up, also it means buy. So that means we can enter this trade. The entry is good, so we enter this trade at this point. Remember how moving averages work. We enter at this crossover and we exit at the next crossover. So that means from that point to that point we have made 117 pips. If this is a standard lot size, Just by doing this, you have made $117. Is that not amazing? It looks too simple, right? Yes, but yeah, but that's how it is. So you have to practice. Don't get too carried away by how simple this is. Because I tell you, when you start using live account, it won't be so easy as to do this. And when you are not really back testing a strategy, yeah, indecisions, your mind will play funny games with you and it might come to indecision. So alright, let's try another set of indicators. Let's try another different currency pair. Okay, let's try the GBP JPY 1 hour. So let's try which indicator are we to use. Let's see. Okay, let's try out parabolic SAR. That's parabolic stop and reversal. Okay, put it there now. Remember how it works. After 3 dots, okay, after 3 dots you get into the market. Let's start here. 1 2 3. So that means we'll be entering at this point here, and that's a sell because it looks like the market is going down. When the price is below the dot, it's a sell. When the price is above the dot, it's a buy. So we're going to be selling this market, but before we'll go on our upper time frame, which is 4 hours in this point, and see what it's telling us. And it's telling us sell. So based on our trend, yes, we can go ahead and sell that. So let's go back. We've checked our first thing on our item. So now what we want to check next is volatility. Let's get another indicator that will show us volatility. Oscillators, we need oscillators for volatility. Okay, let's try this out. BS power. This is a downward trend anyway. Let's see what the bears are talking about. It seems volatility is reducing at this point. Let's look at what let's add the two, the bears and the bull power. It's good to work. I think it's better to have both of them on your screen, bulls and bears power. Alright, let's go back a bit. For the bears, it doesn't seem to be gaining any energy, and the bulls doesn't seem to be gaining energy, and the bears seems just lost a bit of energy. At this point, it will be a bit of a risk taking this trade, but as you can see, let's go to the higher time frame as well. Volatility is saying there. Wow, on this higher time frame, 4 hours, volatility is strong, so it's high. That's been increasing from this point, so you can go ahead and enter the trade. Let's go back to the 1 hour. So alright, we're going to ride the trend and move, and then at this point the first dot, okay, remember after the third dot we get out of the trade. 1 2 3, so we'll be getting out here. Now let's see how many profits we've made so far from here to here. Okay, from this movement we have made 13 pips. That's on $13. This is 1 hour, so $13 on 1 hour, that is something. That's okay. Yeah. So let's look at another point of entry. This one here. Remember 1 2 3, so we'll enter here. Now these are just random things I'm taking. I'm just testing it out so you can see. If you are not I know you might be quite excited how simple and how you are making money here, but trust me, you have to practice. Everything won't go as smooth as these ones are going all the time. You have to practice when the result is consistent. And you don't have to use these indicators I'm showing you. You have to practice, but it's just a matter of checklist. So let's count. Okay, look at it. Let's go to a higher time frame and see what it's telling us. This says we should buy. Okay, let's delete this first one. Guess what? We are still selling here, so guess what? We are not taking the trade. What is the next entry? The next entry is here. First on our checklist, trend. to ensure it's an upward trend. So good. Next on our checklist is volatility. Volatility on the bears is low because it's an upward trend. An upward trend is a bit high. It's higher than the bears. And if you see from here to here, it's a bit high, so you can see volatility is high. Let's check 4 hours. Yes, there's been an increase here. So guess what? You can enter this trade at this point. No, okay, we'll go back to 1 hour. Because 1 hour, that tells us whether we should enter the trade. So we can consider entering this trade. Remember, our exit will stay when our exit is 1, 2, 3. Yeah, this will be our exit. So let's measure how many pips we made from this point. We bought this trade here and then we exited here. And we made 75 pips. That's $75 in this trade. Wow. I thought we were going to see bad trades, but we didn't see here. It's alright. So such trades, that's how we disqualify trades. Very simple checklist. Now, practice. Get on it. It sounds very simple, right? Yes, very simple, relatively easy. That's how making money should be. But remember what I said, making money is simple, it is not easy. Not every trade you enter will go so smoothly like this. You just have, with mastery, you will practice, you are going to be able to identify most. Maybe the reason why I'm identifying things very easily is because I've been practicing for some while. And also, when you are going on a new trade, you have to battle your mind for these things to work, to be able to identify these things. So, but practice is always the key. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our advanced class. It has been great showing you guys, teaching you guys this. I think eventually, very soon, we're going to be having a masterclass session. It's going to be a real amazing one. I think I'm going to be sending you the information at a later time. Alright, thank you. Bye.